as our guest speaker. So let us begin today's event with a prayer to be led by our trustee, Marivic Españo. Marivic, please.
Thank you, Boots. So I'd like to invite everyone to place ourselves in the presence of our Lord. Heavenly Father, we praise and glorify your name as we all gather here in the harbor of your safety. We come to you in gratitude for bestowing us this opportunity to bring everyone together in this event. Shower your blessings on this community gathered here in your name. Bless our trustees and the new officers in SharePHIL as they begin their new roles and responsibilities, and as they take on the activities that we have lined up and planned for the year in this organization. We pray for wisdom to share and bring forth new ideas for the betterment and recovery of our community and country, so that we may be a blessing to many. May this be a meaningful gathering for all of us here, and may you continue to guide us in the days ahead to make this the most fruitful year for everyone. Lead us in all the work we do so that we all may reap the benefits of our collective wisdom and experience. All this we ask in Jesus' name. Amen.
Thank you, Marivic. May we please continue on with the Philippine National Anthem?
Bayang magiliw, pero sa silanganan, alam ng puso, sa dibdib mo'y umay. Lupang hinirang, kuya ka ng magiliw, sa manlulupi, kita masisingil, sa lalat at bundok, sa simoy at sa langit mo mahal. Nahilang ang tula at awit sa paglayang tinahal. Ang kisap ng watawat mo'y nagumpay na nagiging. Ang bituin ng araw niya kailan ang ating pagtitigil. Lupa ng araw na maraming pagsita, buhay langit sa likod. Aming ligaya dapat may mamagin, at namatay ng dahil sa'yo.
Thank you all for joining us in singing the national anthem. May I now call on the 2021 chairperson of SharePHIL, Mr. Ramon Fernandez, for his opening remarks.
Thank you, Marivic. To our distinguished keynote speaker, Mr. Jaime Augusto Zobel de Ayala, to my fellow SharePHIL Board of Trustees and members, our friends in media, guests, good afternoon. The COVID-19 pandemic has spared no one, the rich and the poor, the developed and developing nations, the young and the old, whether you're black, brown, white, or yellow, Christians, non-Christians, and non-believers. Everyone indeed was affected. COVID-19 has brought the private and the public sectors working more closely with each other. This pandemic has brought havoc to our economy. Our government instituted the longest and probably the strictest lockdown. The recession was at its deepest last year. Your association has actively supported initiatives to prioritize the less privileged members of our society. Allocate more funds to stimulate the economy, accelerate the opening of the transport sector, and institute more reforms towards a safe opening of the economy. SharePHIL is one with the business community in urging the immediate passage into law of the Create and FIST bills. SharePHIL also supports the accelerated execution of a concrete and transparent vaccine supply chain strategy. We reiterate that for a robust and early economic recovery to happen, SharePHIL supports one, the lifting of mobility restrictions, two, increased government spending and stimulus, three, execute a more improved vaccine rollout, and four, accelerate reforms to improve business and investment climate. SharePHIL has chosen as theme for 2021, promoting inclusive economic recovery through smart investing. We believe in shared prosperity, leading the way towards doing things differently to make sure everyone benefits. At this point, I'd like to thank our outgoing chairperson, Ms. Evelyn Singson, and our outgoing president, Mr. Fred Parungao, for an excellent job in steering SharePHIL during the most challenging year of our history. Let us all give Evelyn and Fred and the whole 2020 SharePHIL board a warm round of applause. Can we request Ms. Evelyn and Mr. Fred to turn on their videos to join us here as we convey the plaque of appreciation? Allow me to read the Leadership Appreciation Award presented to Ms. Evelyn R. Singson for her outstanding vision and dedicated service as founding chairperson of SharePHIL from 2010 to 2020. Ms. Singson has been instrumental in shaping the strategic direction of SharePHIL that led to its growth and success of its programs, bringing SharePHIL at the forefront of advocating for the improvement of the welfare of minority shareholders. Given this 22nd day of January 2021. Ma'am Evelyn, maraming salamat po.
Thank you, Mon. It was my greatest honor to be your chair for a long while. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. We also would like to convey this Leadership Appreciation Award to Mr. Alfredo B. Parungao for his outstanding vision and dedicated service as founding trustee and president of SharePHIL in 2020. Mr. Parungao has also been instrumental in shaping the strategic direction of SharePHIL that led to its growth and success of the programs, bringing SharePHIL in the forefront of advocating for the improvement and welfare of minority shareholders. Given this 22nd day of January 2021. Maraming salamat, Mr. Fred. Thank you.
Yes. Before you go, may we ask the awardees to also stay on for a few seconds for a photo opportunity? Anna, could you please go ahead? Maybe I should open my screen too. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Well,
Thank you.
founding chair, I must say, not past chair, founding chair and our former president, Fred. So I'd like to now call on Fred Parungao for his final words for the association.
Thank you, Boots. A pleasant good afternoon to all of you. Today starts the new administration in the affairs of SharePHIL. I congratulate President Jaime Ismail and his board of trustees for leading SharePHIL into another year of professional growth for the members. The theme for 2021, promoting inclusive economic recovery through smart investing, is very appropriate for this year, where we hope that we will begin to climb out of the very disastrous pandemic that has ravaged all of us for close to a year now. As we all know, the year 2020 was a very bad year. The hospitalizations, deaths, and the lockdowns have resulted in loss of jobs, lost business opportunities, and a steep downward spiral in our economy. We all have to try to manage our lives with very, very limited resources. Our association had not been spared. We have lost the opportunity to raise finances from sponsored seminars and activities. Our membership had not grown into the number that we were targeting, and we were not able to provide training seminars for our members as often as we had planned. However, there were also some significant achievements for the year, and let me just name some of them. Our offices were transferred to a space that we already own on the 26th floor of the AIC Burgundy Empire Tower along ADB Avenue in Pasig. I hope that some of you have had the opportunity to visit our new office. As stated by President Jaime earlier, we conducted a review of the SharePHIL Statement of Purpose, values, and key result areas. And we have also reaffirmed our values of fairness, accountability, independence, transparency, and honor. In the early part of the year, we held a virtual summit on the topic, Rise as One, Economic Recovery Through Fiscal Stimulus. Another summit was held, Road to Recovery, Is There Light at the End of the Tunnel? And there was a third summit towards the end of this year, or last year rather. We held 4 quarterly general membership meetings on topics such as sustainability for shareholders, industry outlook for your portfolio, and digital transformation as an investment metric. The last quarterly meeting was our general membership meeting in September, where we elected a new set of trustees to replace those whose term ended in September. As most of you know, our board has 15 trustees, 5 of whom are replaced every year. SharePHIL had made contributions to relevant NGOs for the purchase of personal protective equipment for frontliners. SharePHIL had cooperated with other professional associations in issuing joint statements, as stated earlier by our chairman, on various national issues that will affect shareholders. So I thank all members of the association for working together with us in helping achieve a professionally successful year for SharePHIL for 2020. Again, my best wishes to the administration of President Jaime Ismael. Thank you.
Thank you, Fred, and thank you also for your service to the organization. Now, in SharePHIL, we're fortunate to have another Fred. This time, I'd like to call on Fred Pascual. Happens that they also have the same last name, initials, who is a vice chairperson, incoming vice chair of SharePHIL, to introduce our guest. Fred, please.
Yes, Boots. Our guest speaker, Jaime Augusto Zobel de Ayala, or Jaza as he is often called, is the chairman and CEO of Ayala Corporation, one of the largest business groups in the Philippines, with interests in real estate, banking, telecommunications, water, power, industrial technologies, infrastructure, healthcare, and education. Outside the Ayala Group, Jaza is a member of various business and socio-civic organizations in our country and abroad, including the J.P. Morgan International Council, the J.P. Morgan Asia Pacific Council, and the Mitsubishi Corporation International Advisory Council. He also sits on the board of the Singapore Management University, the advisory board of Harvard University and its Global Advisory Council, the Harvard Business School Board of Dean's Advisors, the HBS Asia Pacific Advisory Board, which he chairs. He is Chairman Emeritus of the Asia Business Council and the Philippine representative to the Asia Pacific Economic Cooperation, or APEC, Business Advisory Council from 2010 to 2015. Jaza was awarded the Presidential Medal of Merit in 2009, the Philippine Legion of Honor with the rank of Grand Commander in 2010, and the Order of Mabini with the rank of Commander in 2015 by the Philippine President. In 2017, he was recognized as a United Nations Sustainable Development Goals pioneer for his work in sustainable business strategy and operations. The first SDG pioneer from the Philippines. He was one of the 10 individuals recognized for championing sustainability in the pursuit of the 17 SDGs in business. Jaza received his BA in Economics cum laude from Harvard University in 1981 and MBA from the Harvard Graduate School of Business Administration in 1987. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Mr. Jaime Augusto Zobel de Ayala.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Fred, Vice Chair of SharePHIL, for that somewhat extensive but very kind introduction. Thank you so much. And to the other members of the board, all good friends, Mon Fernandez, Chairperson of SharePHIL, Boots Garcia, who I see often in other boards, your Vice President, Marivic Españo, your Treasurer, Evelyn Singson, Cora de la Paz, Board Advisors, former President Fred Parungao, thank you also for your remarks. And of course, Jaime Ismael, the incoming President of SharePHIL. When Jimmy called me, it was one of those offers I couldn't refuse. Jimmy's been very much a part of our lives in Ayala for more years already than I can count. And to a certain extent, his incoming leadership of SharePHIL makes me extremely happy. Jimmy has provided leadership at so many areas of Ayala Corp over the years, certainly in Ayala Land, more recently Ortigas Land, and we're delighted that for all of you that don't know that Jimmy's also going to be providing leadership for a major segment of our AC Health Group as he moves out of Ortigas Land at this point in time. We're grateful to Jimmy for his many years of service to our group at many different capacities, and I think you're very fortunate to have someone with Jimmy's skills at this point in time in SharePHIL. Congratulations, Jimmy, as well. To the other trustees and members of SharePHIL, thank you also for this kind invitation. I'm just so happy to be here. It's been a hell of a year. I think as Chairman Mon mentioned earlier, and we all look at 2021 with a little bit more hope. I guess all of us in our leadership positions have to chart paths ahead that are both realistic, but at the same time optimistic in the sense of giving hope and answers to the many situations we find ourselves in. I'm certainly confident that we will recover from the impact of the pandemic and last year's natural calamities. But to be very frank with all of you, I think this recovery will be gradual and will be uneven. And I think that's just a reality that we all have to face. Accelerating this recovery and ensuring that it will be broad-based and inclusive, one of the themes, I guess, of this gathering, making it as inclusive as possible will really require a strong commitment to a reimagined capitalist system. SharePHIL plays a critical role in this effort, and I look forward to seeing where we might collaborate to make this happen. I think all of us are faced with so many new challenges in how we look at the capitalist system and our role within it. But speaking of a brighter 2021, the recent rollout of vaccines in other countries, and of course our own preparations for large-scale inoculation, will certainly open several doors to recovery, and I have absolutely no doubt to eventual growth. Maybe just some examples to set a positive tone. We're already beginning to see in the Ayala Group some green shoots that we're taking comfort from. For instance, recently Google retail mobility data indicated continuing improvement in foot traffic in commercial areas, which may mean rising consumer confidence. And I think Chairman Mon was clear in the support that SharePHIL is giving to a gradual opening of the economy and doing what we can to get people back, jobs going, people being hired, and employment moving on. In fact, foot traffic in groceries last month exceeded pre-pandemic levels. Movement in retail and recreation areas is already at about 80% from a low of 20% last May. These are all very positive signals. Meanwhile, remittances, which have long been a pillar of our economy, did not experience the massive drop as expected by some institutions. Many were predicting that this was going to be very, very difficult. And we've been delighted to see in the Ayala Group that it contracted by only 0.9% as of October. I mean, this is very positive given its major driver, I guess, of consumption in our country. With vaccines already being administered in other economies, we anticipate that this will facilitate the deployment of our expatriates and help improve domestic household consumption this year. For Ayala, amidst this challenging global environment, we're also encouraged that we've been able to continue accessing the capital markets and raise funds for growth investments. This has been an important issue for us. So as we entered 2020 and started off with all the difficulties we faced, we thought to ourselves, what happens if liquidity dries up? What happens if we can't access capital markets? We weren't sure how things were going to go. We've been delighted with the way our monetary authorities and the central bank have handled themselves. They've made sure liquidity stayed in our country, and to a certain extent, we've been able to take advantage of the favorable economic climate to continue raising funds. Manila Water and AC Energy both raised $800 million in sustainability and green bonds last year, which would finance water and wastewater infrastructure projects in our East Zone concession area, as well as renewable energy sources. We're also proud that our AC Energy's total green bond issuance is now at $1.17 billion in total. I think Boots is well aware of this. We work together on that board, making it the largest green bond issuer in the Philippines and among the largest in Southeast Asia. And so amidst these positive signs, however, it is my hope that our focus on these positive green shoots will not also make us lose sight of how fragile, in many cases, our situation remains. There's still much uncertainty regarding our growth prospects for 2021, and I think it's worth also reflecting on this. So it puts us in the right frame of mind to continue doing the things that we all have to do as institutions and organizations like yours. For starters, Moody's Analytics forecasts a prolonged economic slowdown for the country. I'm sure many of you have read that. Reporting earlier this month that the Philippines and India will be among the last Asian economies to recover from the pandemic. Our own internal economic estimates at Ayala are a little less optimistic for last year, the 2020, the year that just happened, versus Moody's, with slightly larger contractions versus 2019. And I think that's already become a reality. Mainly also added to that was the last quarter's typhoon damage. But we are cautiously optimistic for 2021 as we expect mobility to improve more meaningfully, as I pointed out earlier. But it may not be until the fourth quarter of 2022 that we see the Philippine recovery to post-pandemic levels, barring any new surges in infection rates or significant execution gaps in our vaccine implementation rollout. So I think we should all work hard to continue building. But I think to be realistic, this will all take a little bit of time for our country to come out of it. These perceptions of a lengthened economic slump highlight the importance, though, of engaging institutions and individuals with the means to stimulate the economy through investments. I think we've always relied on consumption-led growth, and I think this is a time for all of us to do what we can to encourage investments in every way possible as a driver, I guess, of rebooting our economy. Businesses and investors of all sizes have a unique role to play to exponentially accelerate our recovery, and I think we must all do what we can as institutions to encourage that. On this front, I believe SharePHIL stands on very fertile ground. More and more Filipinos are participating in the economy through the stock market. It's been an incredible phenomenon for those of you that have not picked this statistic up. The PSE recently reported that retail investors now account for 25.9% of total domestic investors versus just 18.2% last year. The exchange also anticipates additional IPOs and REITs this year. This is a good opportunity, in my opinion, for SharePHIL to harness, given that these smaller investors will be looking for more accessible investment opportunities. For Ayala, we embarked on several innovative initiatives to reach a larger investing public last year, particularly retail investors. Some of you may have noticed that Ayala Land launched the country's first ever real estate investment trust called AREIT last year. Given AREIT's portfolio of commercial and office assets, which have mostly been resilient during this pandemic, we believe that this is a strong product and can provide a good stimulus to the economy and to capital markets. BPI, meanwhile, continues to offer a wide range of funds as well, more than 30 retail investment funds to fit many a risk profile. The bank also expanded its investor education program through a well-received Investments Insight podcast and various online learning sessions on investing amidst the pandemic and in preparation for a post-pandemic world. Notably, BPI also pioneered COVID Action Response Bonds, or CARE bonds as we call them, to help fund pandemic response initiatives as a whole. So these developments on the investment front, I think, are highly positive and most welcome. Unfortunately, not everyone can share in the growth that certain segments, though, are enjoying, and this is just a reality that we all face. We already see today that while capital markets are open to established institutions and individuals who have the means to endure the downturn, the drop in consumer demand has left many MSMEs in a more challenged position. There are also those who were already vulnerable even before the pandemic and natural calamities struck, and whose situations have become a little bit more precarious under the current circumstances. There is a clear and present risk of a bifurcation in recovery, where inequalities widen and social tensions rise. So I believe that this is where corporates and business associations like yours, SharePHIL, can play a critical role in reframing how we participate in the economy and how we interface with our broader communities. On this note, I'm delighted that SharePHIL joined more than 25 Philippine business groups in signing the Covenant for Shared Prosperity. Congratulations, Mon, and to you and your board for pushing this. This is something I believe in, both at a personal level and also at the level of the other associations I'm a part of. I believe that this is an excellent framework that corporates can align themselves with on treating our employees, our customers, our peers, our partners, our shareholders with utmost fairness and honesty. For SharePHIL's main constituency, the investing community, the Covenant gives standards of integrity, sustainability, and equity by which companies can be held accountable. With the Covenant, the Philippine business community joins a growing global movement of shared value, of sustainable development, and of course, of inclusive capitalism. I'm a firm believer in the capitalist system when it's harnessed properly, and I'm delighted with a collective declaration to place greater focus on the broader stakeholder community beyond just our immediate shareholders. At Ayala, cognizant of the pandemic's wide-ranging and deep impact to all our stakeholders, we revisited and strengthened our commitment to our key stakeholder groups. Particularly, we re-emphasized our pledge to protect and provide peace of mind to our employees through financial support and wage continuance to both our direct employees and partners in no work and no pay arrangements. We also constructed dedicated quarantine and treatment facilities for employees to give them peace of mind that they will receive the proper treatment should they or their loved ones get afflicted with COVID-19. We also renewed our commitment to our economic ecosystem that allowed us to become the successful company that we are. Aside from the many support initiatives of our subsidiaries, we also launched the Ayala Enterprise Circle as our platform to engage, to upskill, and empower the over 250,000 MSMEs who are either clients or partners of Ayala. And lastly, we reaffirmed our commitment to the broader Filipino community, pledging to bridge our broader stockholder needs during this difficult time. With many of your own companies, we work together with the Philippine Disaster Resilience Foundation and Project Ugnayan to help 14 million individuals. It was just wonderful to work hand in hand with so many like-minded individuals and institutions. Also, we continue to work with the government through Task Force T3, which has evolved from its initial mandate of exponentially increasing the testing, tracing, and treatment capacity of our healthcare system to now encompass vaccine procurement, administration, and communications. It's just been extraordinary to see the level of cooperation that we see at this point in time. And Ayala's COVID-19 response, in many ways, was inspired by a growing movement around increased stakeholder centricity, which I think the SharePHIL organization has been supporting and encouraging. With the covenant and the guiding principles that it has set for the business community, I'm excited with the many opportunities we now have to further push the agenda and operationalize our commitments to this covenant. I look forward personally to work together with like-minded peers to continue exploring ways that will enable more Filipinos to share in the bounty of inclusive capitalism. And in the end, I'm sure these are SharePHIL's own objectives. And so I hope to count SharePHIL as one of our allies in this endeavor. Your priority for 2021 on promoting inclusive recovery through smart investing aligns very well with this covenant and is very much in parallel to it, and the longer-term goal of creating a more progressive country for all of us. There are several opportunities that we can embark on in this effort, and I'll offer some provocation, some questions as dialogue starters for all of you, and maybe I leave that to your organization and to you, Jaime, to think through. Number one, for instance, as a respected institution, advocating for the rights and even the responsibilities of shareholders, how might SharePHIL use its influence to shape corporate operating practices towards greater sustainability and inclusion in the future? Secondly, also to further increase the base of socially conscious and responsible investors, how might SharePHIL integrate insights on stakeholder capitalism into your regular programs on investor education and outreach? And third and lastly, on research, our academic institutions hold immense intellectual capital waiting to be harnessed. How might SharePHIL partner in analyzing the tangible impact that inclusive capitalism has contributed and can further add to the Philippine economy? These are just some of the possibilities that SharePHIL can consider as you move forward with your 2021 agenda. At Ayala, we're certainly considering the same weighty questions to see where and how we will need to reset as an institution, and importantly, for whom we will need to reset. So to close, we're at a critical time for the country. Aside from the averting new COVID infections and ensuring proper vaccine administration, we face the huge task of reorienting our institutions towards sustained and inclusive economic growth. This takes an all-of-society approach to accomplish. And I'm delighted and encouraged that the private sector continues to lead the dialogue and collaborative efforts along this front. I've never seen the private sector as engaged, as collaborative, and as united as when we've had this crisis. And I think that augurs well, and we hope it'll stay that way. I hope that we can sustain this momentum as we move forward and certainly work as associations, as individuals and institutions for this objective. But again, I thank SharePHIL for this invitation to your first general membership this year. Congratulations on your many achievements. And let me also congratulate once again the incoming officers of SharePHIL, and Jaime, to you. And I wish you well on your leadership. 2021 is shaping up to be a dynamic year full of potential amidst, of course, uncertainty that continues. Rest assured that you can count on our Ayala Group to be your friend and partner in your goal to promote inclusive growth through smart investing, motivated by the principles of shared prosperity and inclusive capitalism. Congratulations to you all, and I wish you a successful year ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, Jaime. And can we please give Jaime a virtual clap for his very insightful
Thank you.
presentation?
Thank you, Boots. Thank you.
I could say that on behalf of the SharePHIL board, we will take up your challenge that you posed on us and make sure and work and collaborate with Ayala on
Thank
this.
you. Thank you very much. And the same thing for us as well, Boots. We will do our best as well to collaborate. I think all of us have to have a like mindset in these matters and be aligned. And I have absolutely no doubt, listening to Mon's opening statements and understanding what SharePHIL has been doing, that we're completely aligned. Thank you. Thank you also for the opportunity.
Thank you. Thank you again, Jaime. So with that, may I call on Chair Mon for
Yes.
to give a present virtually a token of appreciation for Jaime. And
Can I invite Jimmy Ismail to join me in conferring our plaque of appreciation? Jimmy, can you join me here now?
Jaime, may oblige us with a photo op at the end of the presentation.
Of course,
Thank
Boots.
you,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes. We'd like to confer the plaque of appreciation to Mr. Jaime Augusto Zobel de Ayala for his leadership at Ayala Corporation, espousing sustainability and stakeholder engagement, leading practices in good corporate governance and investor relations. Having served as keynote speaker for SharePHIL 2021 Inaugural General Meeting of Members and helping us promote inclusive economic recovery through smart investing, given this 22nd day of January 2021. Joining me is Jimmy Ismail in conferring this plaque. Thank you very much, Jaza.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you to all.
We
Thank
have
you.
a few photo ops. Maybe begin with the XCOM. That's Jimmy, Mon, Fred Pascual, Evelyn, and Maribic, and Cora Dela Paz. Bernardo, to please open your screens or videos.
Hello, Cora.
Anna, could you please tell us? Could you give a count of 1, 2, 3?
Hold on. We'll just have the rest put on spotlight.
Okay. Give us a cue, please. Challenges of technology.
This is our new life, Boots. It's our
Right.
new life.
We just have to get used to it, We can't turn back the time anymore.
I know.
So Anna?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So smile. Pose and smile. Hang on. Another one. There you go.
Thank you, Jaime.
Now,
Thank
may,
you.
Thank
you
you
too.
Thank
Thank
you
you
very
all.
much. Thank you.
Thank you.
may I also
Thank
ask
you.
the rest of the board to join? We
Yeah.
do have 15
Okay.
members of the board. Jaime, if you don't mind.
Not at all. Not at all. Of course not.
Oh, teka.
Board members,
Francis,
open
Francis
your
Lim.
video. I just want to mention them. We have Tammy Lipana, Francis Lim, Bert Manabat, and we're missing Dino Bate, I believe.
Cherry.
Terry Bernal.
Very Benti
Those
Hanke.
are the rest of the board
Yes.
members.
This is one of those organizations where I know every single member of the board.
I'm sure.
Hi, Francis. How are you?
Anna, please.
Adding everyone on spotlight.
Jaime.
Sorry, it takes a little bit. I have to sift through. Okay. Who
Thank
are we
you.
still missing?
Well,
Or just one more with Miss Tammy.
okay.
Si Tammy.
Yeah.
Yes, there she is.
Yeah, complete.
Jasa is
Okay.
not on the.
All right.
Okay, thank you again, Jaime.
Thank you. Thank you
Thank
to
you.
everyone.
For your
Thank you
time.
very much, Jaime.
Wishing you
Thank
much
you.
success. Huh?
Appreciate it
Thank
very
you.
much.
Thank
Thank
you.
Hopefully see you all live again soon.
Yes.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Going to the malls.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Jaime. So
Okay,
now
yeah.
may I call on the founding chair, Evelyn Singson, to introduce the new team for 2021.
Okay. New
Not,
thing.
not really true, not really new. Somewhat new, somewhat old.
Okay. As we begin the new year, we also welcome some new people in our leadership team. I am proud of the collective integrity and esteem of our board of trustees and committee chairs. Our chairperson, of course, we all know him, the lovable Ramoncito Mon Fernandez, President and CEO of Maynilad Water Services. Mon, take a bow.
Hi, ma'am. Thank you.
Our Vice Chairman, Mr. Alfredo Pascual. Fred, Special Advisor and former President of the University of the Philippines.
Hi.
Trouble, ha? UP.
Yeah.
Our President, Jaime Jimmy Ismael, Chairman of Ortigas Land, soon to be moved to AC Health.
Thank you.
You have to cover us within insurance.
The vaccines, for sure.
Priority
Dapat
vaccine.
magpa-lunch ka.
Sige, we'll include you in the count, all of you,
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And our extended families.
and extended families, of course.
Okay, next, Vice President, our perennial MC, Aurora Boots Jotina Garcia, President of Mageo Consulting. Boots.
Hello.
Our new treasurer who will raise so much money for us very soon, Maria Victoria Marivic Españo, Chairperson and CEO of PNA Grant Thornton. Marivic.
Thank you, Evelyn. Hi.
And our board advisor, the wizard, Corazon de la Paz Bernardo, board advisor of BDO Unibank, Cora, and of course me, Evelyn Singson, vice chair and president of Dusitani Philippines. Now, may I call on our other trustees? Conrado Dino Bate, is he here? No?
Yeah, he's here. He's here.
Dino, welcome.
Dino is here.
Next is Rosario Cherry Bernaldo, Chairman and CEO of RS Bernaldo and Associates. First, I forgot to mention, Dino is President of and CEO of Call Financial. Are you the biggest now, Dino?
Yes.
Okay. See, we're
Yeah,
very
si
proud.
Dino, aminin na.
Then we have Eduardo Ed Francisco, President of BDO Capital and Investment Corp. Where's Ed? Ed, hello. Attorney Francisco Francis Ed Lim, our pillar, senior partner of Accra Law, and now president of Phoenix 2021, but next year or thereafter, president of SharePHIL again.
Yes, Francis.
Comes around, gets around.
Then Tammy, sister Tammy Lipana, independent director of SM Investments. Pray for us. Roberto Bert Manabat, Chairman Emeritus of KPMG, RG Manabat. Bert,
Hello.
who is that friend behind you? Alfredo, Fred Parungao, our outgoing president and president of Ligaya Management Inc. Fred.
For you, yes.
And last but not least, of course, Benito Tihanki, Professor of Business Ethics at De La Salle University.
Doesn't seem to be here.
Ano yan?
Maybe he's in class.
So the next batch are our committee chairpersons. For the Ethics Committee, Attorney Alex Cabrera, Chairman and Senior Partner of PwC Philippines. Alex.
Good afternoon.
Hi. And then Chairperson of Shareholder Relations and Representation Committee, Ms. Rachel Paunlagi, co-founder of Onward Investor Relations. Rachel.
Hello, everyone.
For research, we have
Rachel.
Denver Deradar, Professor of Management of the LSU. Dexter. For membership,
Hello.
we have Emmanuel Noel Rapadas, CFO of Torre Lorenzo Development Corp. He's the king of student dorms. For education, we have Jonathan Ravelas, Chief Market Strategies of BDO Unibank. Jonas.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, ma'am.
And for programs, Ms. Mai Sige Bisnar, partner of the Assurance Division and Head of Markets Group of PMA Grant Thornton. Mai?
Good afternoon, everyone.
Okay, thank you all for taking the opportunity to serve our association. The office to which you have been elected is one of dignity and importance. In accepting this office, you undertake a responsibility which is not to be assumed lightly nor carelessly discharged. You are charged with the duties of resolutely furthering the mission of the Shareholders Association of the Philippines. With the bylaws as your guide, you must be ever ready to exercise the functions of the office with which you are entrusted. Do you accept the charge?
I do.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
I do.
So we are now going to have you take your oath of office. May we request you to raise your right hand and let us together recite the oath of office. I,
Alex Cabrera,
Francisco Lim,
Jonathan Ravelas,
having been appointed as chair of the Ethics Committee,
Philippines.
Shareholders Association of the Philippines,
having been elected,
having been
appointed
elected
the Shareholders Association of the Philippines, do
shareholder
solemnly swear to abide and uphold the Constitution and bylaws, to commit and put into practice all values and noble tenets of fairness, accountability, independence, transparency, honor. I likewise pledge
to advance the interest of the investing public, of this association, to conduct myself in a manner befitting a faithful proponent
and advocate of good
good
governance
governance
without
without
mental
mental
reservation
reservation
or purpose of frustration. So help me God. Thank you again and congratulations, everyone. May we bring SharePHIL to new heights this year. Let us take a few moments for a picture taking again. Okay, Anna.
Okay, everyone ready? Ada will take the screenshots. Attorney Cherry. Okay. Review.
Thank you. Thank you very much. You all look good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Are we done? Are we okay?
Yeah, yeah. I think it's your turn.
I'm sorry.
Okay, Boots, go ahead now.
Take over na.
Okay, thank you and congratulations to all of us who have been charged, as Evelyn said, to continue serving the organization. And
Fully charged now.
I think we all look forward to working together again. For some may be new, but for the rest, this is our continued, shall we say, vocation to serve SharePHIL. Okay, so may I now, thank you, Evelyn, for administering that oath to us. And so let us now call on President Jaime as he begins his term and to share with us what his thoughts are and plans for his tenure. Jaime, please.
Thank you, Boots. I would like to thank Jaime Augusto Zobel de Ayala again for gracing us today as our keynote speaker. And of course, I would like to acknowledge the presence of our fellow trustees, officers, and members of Shareholders Association of the Philippines, our friends from other business groups and associations, colleagues from the business community, and partner media practitioners. No? A pleasant afternoon to all of you. I'm extremely honored and privileged to have been given the opportunity to continue to serve SharePHIL and be part of its advocacy. I would like to thank my colleagues at SharePHIL for the trust and confidence. My sincere expression of thanks goes as well to Evelyn Singson and Fred Parungao, our 2020 SharePHIL chairperson and president, respectively, for their exemplary leadership and selfless contribution to the organization, especially during a most difficult year. Despite the challenges brought about by the pandemic, SharePHIL continued to pursue its advocacy of promoting and protecting investors' interests by coming up with virtual events on topics that are relevant to its various publics and constituencies. With the economic and societal effects of the pandemic still here before us, SharePHIL remains committed to its purpose, which is to enable Filipinos to invest wisely, achieve financial security, and contribute to the socio-economic growth of the country. This purpose is anchored on three pillars. Educate, which by providing relevant and enriching content and knowledge support. Equip, by providing a framework to adopt an investing mindset and the tools to progress. And empower, by promoting behavioral change towards a culture of investing and supporting policy reforms that benefit retail investors. SharePHIL's purpose is consistent with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, specifically Goal number 8 on decent work and economic growth, and Goal number 10 on reduced inequalities. While investing may not be top of mind in this COVID era, there are still a few million Filipinos who are liquid, financially secure, and ready to build their wealth and need to deploy their funds to appropriate investment instruments. In so doing, they help create jobs and spur business activity, as investing remains an effective engine of growth, as well as economic growth, as well as inclusive growth. But for investing to serve this purpose, investors will have to be armed with the right tools, imbued with the right mindset, and operating under a fair and equitable market where everybody's rights and interests are adequately protected. It is in this context that your board has decided to adopt as its 2021 theme, promoting inclusive economic recovery through smart investing. We believe that this theme is aligned with SharePHIL's purpose, especially as the country enters a period of economic recovery, where investments are essential to attain inclusive economic growth. Guided by this theme for 2021, and in furtherance of its purpose, SharePHIL's key initiatives for the year include the following. First, we will focus on investor education, expanding the coverage to a wider audience to cover small retail investors, including students at the college level. We will supplement regular member and public engagement programs with a series of financial literacy and investment webinars, either through SharePHIL's own resources or in partnership with institutions who offer the same kind of training and extend this benefit to a wider audience to have the maximum impact. Number 2, we will address industry and capital market issues through active advocacy work and respond to shareholder concerns by providing appropriate representation and assistance. We will take positions on issues consistent with SharePHIL's mandate, either on our own or in partnership with other industry associations. We will respond to shareholder concerns elevated to us and provide them assistance to the extent that we can in clarifying issues, making representations before the appropriate government bodies, referring them to partner individuals or institutions who can help them seek redress for their problems in an orderly and expeditious manner. Number 3, we will review the effectiveness and refocus as necessary our program on attending shareholders' meetings, and engaging publicly listed companies to help enhance their corporate governance practices. We will ensure that we add value to these corporates and focus more on the small caps who may not have fully embraced all the best practices in the conduct of shareholders' meetings and investor relations. I think our slide should be moved to the third point. No? We will look at the investor relations function as well of listed companies and see if we can come up with a program that will help elevate their standards to global best practices. Number 4, we will continue to drive membership growth and engagement by addressing the needs of all member categories. We will come up with regular formal and informal programs to foster greater membership engagement. We will redefine the value proposition of a SharePHIL membership and align membership recruitment efforts with this value, as well as partner with institutions to scale up membership growth. 5th, we will undertake research on relevant topics aligned with our purpose and refine our research agenda by focusing on those with maximum impact. We will partner with universities, think tanks, and other institutions who can deliver quality research and use this output in our advocacy work, educational trusts, member recruitment and engagement programs, public relations, and other programs to make SharePHIL relevant to its various publics. And lastly, number 6, we will continue to build and enhance the capacity and the capability of the organization to support SharePHIL's objectives. And under these, we will enhance the effectiveness of the Secretariat to enable us to efficiently conduct our affairs, accomplish more, and pursue our advocacies. We will also ensure that the financial sustainability of SharePHIL is assured by continuing to preserve and enhance its resource base to enable it to deliver on its goals and objectives. Of course, I would like to thank Jaime Augusto, Zobel de Ayala again for those suggestions on areas where SharePHIL can further look into in furtherance of its purpose and add value and effectively help in creating inclusive and sustainable economic growth for the country. So we'll take those in cognizance in developing and further honing our plans for the year. All these planned initiatives will not be successful without the buy-in and support of all our members and partner institutions. We are fortunate to have a very committed set of trustees, officers, committee chairs, and members who share the same passion for advancing SharePHIL's agenda. We call on all our members to get involved and help push these initiatives forward. Together, working as one team, SharePHIL can make a difference in promoting inclusive economic recovery through smart investing. Thank you very much, and may you all have a good day. Thank you.
Can we please begin a virtual virtual class?
Thank you.
We're looking forward, Jimmy, to your projects, and I'd like to enjoin everyone to support and participate in our various activities. So with that, I'd like to thank those who have joined us in Zoom and also subscribe to YouTube, I believe, and Facebook. And please, should you wish to get more information about what we plan to do and we are doing, kindly look at our website where we present all our activities and programs. So may you all have a wonderful weekend. It's Friday today, and well, weekends and weekdays no longer have differences, as we all know. But in any case, let's try to enjoy the weekend. And so with that, this is Boots Garcia signing off, thanking you for your participation in the first inaugural meeting of SharePHIL for 2021. And let's all work towards inclusive economic recovery through smart investing. Good afternoon to all.
Thank you, Boots. Thank you, and the Secretariat for organizing today's event. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
But we're having our board meeting at 3.
To the board meeting na.
Para
do you want to log out and log in?
Yes.
Log in already?
Let's log out and log in. for the board
Log
meeting.
in, log out na tayo. Log in, log out.
We have
Thank you,
a
everyone.
It will be a different Zoom setup po.
thank you.
Abby will resend the link
See you
on
in
Viber.
how many
also.
minutes?
In 10 minutes, 10 minutes.
Yeah, let's proceed now to the board meeting.
Yeah. But
Okay.
we have a board, as Jaime says, we have a board meeting at 4 actually.
Okay, thank you.
Bye.
Okay.